Hi everybody, Lord Magicus, and we're going to play Mono Blue Devotion and Pioneer. So it's been a little while since we did this. Yeah, things have kind of changed. Sultai Delirium is now like really popular, but the topic of the hour is of course the Dimir Inverter deck. So the deck is crushing it, something like 20-25% of the metagame in that range, and just continuing to just dominate like the top eights of all the major events. So I don't know, like some people think that it's fine for it to exist, but let's be real. If we expect there to be like competitive diversity, decks have been banned for way less than this. Like I think when Splinter Twin got banned out of Modern, it was something like maybe 12%. So, and we're at literally double that for the inverter deck right now. Not to mention that like the green and red decks have a very hard time doing anything against it at all, and like even the other colors like white sort of has a game if they place very specific answers to it, and blue and black are like the best colors against it, but it itself is a blue and black deck, which is unsurprisingly why almost half of the metagame is either Sultai Delirium or Dimir Inverter, because, oh, I wonder what colors are the ones that matter against it. So, just absolutely insane. I think something's getting banned out of that deck at some point. I don't know what, but in the meantime, since we're going to probably be facing it, we should come prepared for it. So, this is the list that I put together. I guess we'll start with the obvious. I'm going to play Leyline in my deck. I don't really want to. I don't like this card very much, but almost every one of the successful Mono Blue Devotion decks have been playing this in it. So I guess we're just going to have to suck it up and play it. And I mean, this thing can do some really absurd things sometimes, and we still have a nice aggro curve to play even if we don't have Leyline. So it is what it is. I'm going to play, instead of Wizard's Retort, I'm going to play Ashiok's Erasure. So this is very similar to Summary Dismissal in that it can exile spells instead that are uncounterable. So you can use it for things like Supreme Verdict, which is normally a huge problem, but it has both sort of drawback but mostly advantages for us in that it's an enchantment. So it will provide 2 blue devotion for us after we cast it. And it prevents the opponent from actually casting more spells with the same name. So, like, let's say your opponent has, three Inverter of Truths in hand. Well, if you Ashiok's Erasure and exile one of them, now they can't actually cast the other 2 in their hand. So it's pretty strong. I guess the only question I would have is what happens if you use Ashiok's Erasure on something, but then they use like Coax from the Blind Eternities on it. Let me see if I can find the answer. I should have come prepared for this, but I just thought of this question because I don't know how that still works. If they coax the thing back to their hand, I wonder, can they actually cast the Inverter again? Because the same name as the exiled card. What happens if it leaves exile? Alright, here's the ruling. If there is no exiled card because the exiled spell is a copy of a spell or was a commander that moved through the command zone, or it leaves exile somehow, it won't stop them from casting spells. Okay, so that is worth noting. So let's say if you exile the Inverter and they use Coax on it, they will be able to cast it again. So that's important. However, the other important ruling that this looks irrelevant, if Ashiok's Erasure has exiled an Adventurer card, your opponents can't cast spells with the same name as the creature, but they may cast their adventures. So if you say exile like Brazen Borrower with it, they can still cast Petty Theft, but they can't cast Brazen Borrower. So that's interesting. I don't think I would have guessed that would have been what happens with that. I don't know. it's a little bit weak because yeah, the downside is that because it's a permanent in the field, stuff like Brazen Borrower or Teferi could bounce this back to your hand and then they get their card back. They don't get to it's not like Spell Queller though, so they don't get to cast it immediately. However, it goes back to their hand, and they can then spend mana to cast it from their hand at the next appropriate time. So it's not perfect, but at the same time, if they also like use something to bounce this back to your hands, like you could theoretically just recast this and re-exile the spell the next time they cast it. So I mean, there's some kind of back and forth to this, but I think this is going to be the spell I want to try in the main deck. And part of the problem, or I guess yeah, the reason that we're going to do this mostly is Wizard's Retort is almost always in like a like we're not playing it before turn 3 because yeah, it may only cost us 2 mana, but it's still effectively a 3 mana counterspell because we can't play it before turn 3. We only have 2-drop wizards in our deck. There's no Siren Storm Tamer in order to try to do it on turn 2 anymore. So it's just kind of a fancy cancel that sometimes is 2 mana, but it's still like a turn 3 plus counterspell. So if I'm not going to be able to counter things in the early game anyway, I kind of feel like maybe we should try to counter things that synergizes with our game plan, because sure, maybe if we start with like Leyline and go like turn 2 Harbinger of the Tides, then we actually can then play Nykthos in turn 3 and still have Ashiok's Erasure up in turn 3 anyway, so that's definitely possible. Any opening with Leyline and like a 2-drop means that Nykthos lets us cast 4 mana spells in turn 3, so maybe that's a surprise Master Waves on our opponent's end step, maybe it's Ashiok's Erasure, so just worth noting, like this, we still can cast it on turn 3, but I think most of the important things that we want to counter with it are, yeah, we probably, like, you either want to counterspell on like turn 2 or like after, I think otherwise like this is going to be fine. So the only thing that it's going to like miss is probably Teferi, but we're just going to have to attack Teferi down quickly. So yeah, there's not really much else we can do about it. And if the thing is, if they play Teferi and then like bounce, say like Leyline of Anticipation, as long as you have a creature in play, you can still attack and kill Teferi. So it kind of undoes it a little bit, but we'll be slightly weak to a Teferi in game 1. We have stuff to bring in against it, though. Alright, so yeah, we talked about that. I'm going to keep 3 Cloudfin Raptors. In order to make room for the ley lines, and I had to cut some spells, so I ended up cutting one of the Cloudfins. I trimmed one of the Borrowers and 1 Tempest Shin as well. And also 1 Wizard's Retort ended up becoming the other ley line. And I also took out the 2 Shadow Spirits in the main deck and decided I want to Harbinger the Tides. So we have 10 2-drops because we really want to play a 2-drop on turn 2 if we have Leyline, so that way it turns our Nykthos on for 4 mana so we can cast like literally anything in our deck at that point. So that's basically all we got. Like, we're on 4 Nykthos because obviously with Leyline you just need to have 4. That's all there is to it. Sideboarding. Essence Scatter is a new card. We've not played this card on this channel yet, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think in any format. I'm pretty sure this is the first time. So it's just counter-target creature spell. But here's the thing. We can cast it with Nykthos and the Island, and it counters most of the really important stuff for us. So things like Heliod and Walking Ballista both get caught by this. Thassa's Oracle and Inverter of Truth both get caught by it. It's even good against like the big green decks where if they're bringing in, or if they're going to play like Rotting Regisaur or Surak or what is it, a Renois or Galta or any of those nonsense creatures, like very good against their deck. You can even counter Titans with it if you want. If they're gonna try to escape a Titan, like definitely, yeah, Essence Scatter's fine there. Mystical Dispute, just because we need it to counter stuff like Dig Through Time, Teferi, other counter spells. So 1 mana counter for like Inverter and blue-white. Blue-white control. So I think it's just too important. You have to have this card. We're gonna have 2 Wizard Retorts. Even if it's something we can only play in turn 3, I still think we need to have unconditional counter magic. So 2 of those, they can come in against stuff like I don't know. I don't know where. I guess like the combo decks, like the control decks, we definitely need it for. So we'll see what else. But okay, so another new card for us is Nimble Obstructionist. We have not played this card yet either. It's basically just an extra flash flying threat. So it's something that we can pass the turn holding up mana, so even if we don't have Leyline, we can still add to the board. And the other cool thing about this is that it has a cycling ability. When you cycle it, you counter an activated or triggered ability that you don't control. So the cycling ability, this is a trigger, so you can't like Mystical Dispute it if we try to cycle it. So we'll get to draw a card and counter an effect, which is probably going to be something like Inverter of Truth's effect that like exiles their deck. So they'll still have a 6/6 flyer, which is not great, but at the same time, they're also not going to get to just combo and win the game immediately either. So, or if they go for Thassa's Oracle, you can actually counter the Oracle trigger with this as well, which is helpful. Other things it can counter Planeswalker activations, and you can, if your opponent plays Teferi and then tries to like bounce your Leyline, you can actually cycle and counter Teferi's ability with it because this is not casting a spell. It's just activating an ability, and you are allowed to do that. So yeah, a lot of times, like I said, just it's going to be a very good threat against blue-white control because a 3/1 flyer is definitely very strong against them. You don't want to overcommit to the board, so something like Cloudfin Raptor is usually really poor. We can side out 3 copies of that for 3 copies of Obstructionist. So very, very good card. There's some other applications of it, so maybe we'll see some of them. But oh yeah, it's like Titan triggers. You can, if your opponent's going to play like Uro, you can say, you know what, I don't feel like letting you explore. You can just play your Titan and let it die, and then I cycle and counter the trigger. So just good tempo plays like that with it is fine. And you don't go down on cards with it. That's the important thing. Remember, the cycling draws a card, so it replaces itself and it like keeps you in the game. So it's a very good tempo tool for that. And then the last card that we're going to talk about here is Ashiok. This card is here basically for Sultai Delirium, because I think that matchup is going to be kind of tough. But Ashiok is fantastic in that deck because it keeps their Delirium off the board, and it also makes it so they can't search their deck with Traverse at all, which is nice. A lot of their deck is built on being able to traverse for a specific tutor target, so you're turning it off and then potentially using Ashiok to just exile the one-ofs from their deck. It seems very good to me. And then the last card, we're just going to play 1 Shadow Spear. This can come in against like any of the mid-range decks, but especially any of the red decks. The Trample and Lifelink is invaluable. I'd love to have another copy of this, but I just don't know what else I'd want to cut for this, so... I was thinking about originally 2 Ashioks, but I think with the Delirium deck being as popular as it is, I think it's probably worth 3 Ashiok and just having 1 random spear. So remember, this is also legendary, so if you ever draw the second one, like that's basically like not drawing a card for a turn. But I think, just having 1 randomly gives you, extra percentage points against some decks that, maybe it comes down to a race, and like this will help us swing a race pretty well, especially if you put it on Tempest or something that just hurts a lot. Okay, so I think I have talked enough here. Yeah, wow, 13 minutes. But yeah, so we made some pretty interesting changes to this deck. Yeah, like I'm keeping Cloudfin, because I want to keep that aggro curve. So like even if we don't have Leyline, just being able to go like Cloudfin into 2-drop into 3-drop, and then maybe even into like a 4-drop is still very strong, and this will help us, keep pressuring the opponent. And I think 3 is fine because you don't want to have more than... the first one is very good. The second and the third one's not as good, so, I think it's fine as 3. But yeah, other than that, I think we covered this pretty well, so this is what I'm going with, and let's go try it out in the league and see how we do. Yeah, the deck tech sometimes takes a while, but that's the quality content you come to this channel for, right? Yeah. Like the video if you like the quality content. Oh, it might help if we actually, pick elite. Or there we go, the Water God. That's the one. Yep. All right, let's join. Yeah, like, subscribe, and comment in this. I love getting to see what you have to say. So It means a lot to me. Appreciate it so much. Oh, wow. We're getting right into this. All right, perfect. Okay. All right, well, we start on the draw versus Shadaro. Is that Tezzeret? Okay. I don't think I've ever spent like tickets or anything on getting other avatars. This is just one that I've randomly kept. This is a little bit risky, but I think we're on the draw. We can find another land by turn 3 for sure. We're gonna have what 3 draws to do it. We'll keep it because we can go Cloudfin into Trickster, and then we still have Brazen Borrower bouncing something. All right, so this is definitely Inverter, or at least it feels like it. It could be something else. Like maybe it's the Delirium deck. It's probably Inverter though. Let's be real. Thought Erasure. Yeah, that's an Inverter card, so it's fine. We need to draw more lands though because we're not going to win with this against Inverter. Our game one's probably not that good. We just have to race them in life. They know we can't do anything, so alright, that helps. Well, we can't really do anything here, so next turn we can start flashing in creatures. So cycle, so they have to fill up the graveyard. Alright, well, I guess we just play Thassa's or Tempesh in because this is the fastest clock. They might have Fatal Push. I think here we'd like to see like land, like Island Tempesh in probably. Alright. This sucks. We have no way of like, okay, so it's dig through time, so they're not just jamming the combo yet. We can't race this, like, not yet anyway. Yeah, so did they play? They played Fabled Passage this turn. He has 6 good cards in hand. I guess we're playing Raptor, Tempesh, and Attack. No, we can't do that. We can play Thassa's Oracle, though. Let's see. The Nykthos probably makes the most sense here, actually. Because that'll let us Gadwick for a lot in response, so... So if they go for the combo, like, I don't know, maybe we can Gadwick, try to draw... I don't think it helps, though. We still probably just have to draw a bajillion cards. Alright, well if they take Gadwick, that sucks, but at least we can still deploy both of these next turn. They took Tempesh in, that's interesting. So they don't have the combo yet. Unless they're trying to deploy it all in one turn. Alright, so... Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana with this. So how many cards do we draw? Because we can't bounce this, but the problem is even if we play Gadwick right now, I don't know if that's enough. How do we like win this game? Can we kill him? Like, are we close to that? So we have 5, 6, 7 damage right now. I don't think we can kill him. I think that if they just play... Well, okay, they can't go Inverter and Jace, but if they go... They have 3 cards in the graveyard right now. So... Yeah, if I play the Gadwick here... I can't bounce this. Well, actually, maybe bouncing is not the end of the world because. Alright, yeah, you know what? That might actually make the most sense. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. They're going to potentially be at 6 mana next turn. So, right now, if they play Land, Inverter, Thassa's Oracle, they just win the game because they'll have 4 Devotion and they'll have 3 cards left in their deck. However, if I bounce the Oracle to hand, they can play Inverter and then Thassa's Oracle, but they'll have 3 cards in their deck and they'll only have 2 Devotion. So, I think that's what we have to do. So 7. So we need to leave up 2 mana to do this. So we can afford to draw 3 cards. Right, because then that leaves us with enough to petty theft this. That still gives us Evolve trigger, so. Okay, great. To do this before we lose our mana. So they might not be able to win here, and this might just be too much. Okay, well that's not good for them. I think we might. Yeah, we got there. Okay, good, excellent. So there we go. We stole game 1 off of them, so let's just keep it going. So I think here my plan was I want to bring in like all the counter spells. We'll take out Cloudfin Raptor. Oops. Now we want that. We take out Brazen Borrower, and instead of Borrower, I'm going to bring in the Nimble Obstructionist. What were the other? Oh, Master of Waves, I think I cut those. What else did I think I trimmed a Gadwick, and was it just cutting Master? I guess that might make sense. You know what? I could cut Harbinger of the Tides. Maybe leave in 2 Borrowers. Maybe Master of Waves is okay, though. You know, it might make sense to leave in 2. I forget. You know what? Thassa I think I took out, so here's 2 Borrowers. So I guess, yeah, the question is, do I leave in the Harbingers or not? So I really want to have 2 mana up, but there's not many creatures in their deck that I'm worried about bouncing, so this doesn't really do much. Thassa's Oracle is also sort of not great. It's just fixing our draws. It's not going to win the game on its own. The only thing I'm worried about with Master Waves is if they have removal that can kill it. But it does go wide very quickly, so maybe this is fine to keep 2 of these in. The Brazen, I don't know if maybe I don't. Do we keep Brazen Borrower or not? That's a good question. Because this can bounce Jace in response to them trying to win the game with Jace. Maybe it's better than Master Waves. We just want things that are at flash speed, so that could actually be a good argument. We keep in 1 Miser's Master. Or the other option is we just take in Gadwick, but I really don't want to be tapping out big with Gadwick. I don't know, maybe that's better than Master, though, to just draw a bunch of cards if we have Leyline. Alright, I'm going to do it like this and hope for the best. We're putting our faith in Gadwick, but it might be correct to cut 1. This hand has no interaction for them at all. Jesus. This doesn't do anything, like... Alright, I can't keep this either. I guess we're keeping this, and then we have to bottom 2 cards, so... Say bye to Tempest Jin, and... You're gonna, like, Thoughtseize us anyway, right? Doesn't matter. I really feel like we need to keep the retort, but they're gonna definitely Thoughtseize us regardless. Alright, I'm getting rid of the 2 Tempestins. Because then, at least this way, if we draw Nykthos, we can still cast these things. Alright. These are all flash spells, so that helps a little bit. Reveal Island, okay. Yes. We might just flash in, like, Borrower in their next turn. I don't really want them to see this if I don't have to show it to them. Jace. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's petty theft it. Alright, you have dispute, sure. Gotta get Devotion on the board. I'm not a fan of this Planeswalker, but that helps a little bit. Yeah, I can't afford to counter that. So now we might just flash in an Obstructionist. Could also cycle an Obstructionist on this Jace, but well, the other option is we might just let them flip it. Sure. I guess it doesn't matter what they take here. Yeah, they have to do that. Alright. So let's see. They can +1 it. Put it to 6. They cast an instant or sorcery from their graveyard. I don't really like that. They can target the Fatal Push, and then we can't even do this. I don't know. I don't have a better plan though. Like, this is all the fact that we mulligan so far is really shitty. But all right, I guess we'll just have to see what they do. I think the correct thing for them to do is to target. They target Opt. All right, because we can just flash in Obstructionist and try to get them with it. Unless they have another counterspell. Or if they have Fatal Push like in hand, that sucks. Interesting. Well, let's kill Jace. It is a wizard, so the retort is online. If they have dig through time, that sucks. They might. They just jam Inverter, we have a counterspell for it. Yeah, dig through time's good. So they have to Thoughtseize us or Thought Erasure us to get this out of our hand before they can deploy one of their inverters. So I guess just more counterspells might be fine here. Alright, well, I don't really want to play that and tell them what we have. So what did you find here? Oh, I could have played around Mystical Dispute, but alright, they don't have Dispute, so that's good. Well, that's interesting. If they're casting this now, they probably don't have another one of those in hand. So we can play around Dispute now because they don't know we have another counterspell. Alright, we're not super lost yet. They only have 2 cards left. We do have protection. Yeah, Oracle away. Are they going? They're not even going to bother attempting that. Alright, that's good. We're just flashing that in to attack them. Yeah. If they have a counterspell, so be it. May as well bounce it. Because they can't cast Inverter right now, so the holding this up doesn't matter. Yeah, so if we would have just played Borrower, then Dispute we couldn't have gone through that anyway. There's not a point. Like, I want them to just sweat that we have 2 counterspells. Sure. They didn't really mill anything important, and they don't seem to have anything else relevant in hand right now. Well, that's kind of helpful. Attack first. I think we might get there, because I don't think they can combo right now. They only have 1 card left in hand. So let's see. Even if it's Inverter of Truth, does it actually matter? If they haven't, they already played 2 Thassa's Oracles, right? So they'd have to literally, and they don't have it both cards in hand. So I will pay for it. I guess this just prevents us from dying to like a single, or it lets us kill them through a removal spell. So I don't think they win here, right? Yeah, they still have 1 card in the graveyard. I put the shields down so that way we didn't die to like a random counterspell. Or if they like, okay, fuck, they never mind. Yeah, that fucking sucked. Like, I guess maybe I should have held up the counterspell for this. I didn't think about Dig Through Time maybe being the last card, and like we put the shields down, so damn it. Because I'm just trying to. I wanted to make sure that I could try to kill them in case they had like Hero's Downfall or something like that. No, it was probably correct to just keep Essence Scatter up because I forgot that the Jace can mill them and then they draw a card, so that didn't work out. Fuck. I'm going to be really pissed if I lose this match because of that. Well, we were on a mull to 5. I guess we keep this. So we go Thassa's Oracle into Wizard's Retort. We can just keep digging for counterspells with these. That's good. You just want more hate cards at this point. I guess put Brazen Borrower on top. So it's a threat we can flash in. Why did they wait till their turn to do this? I don't know. Sure, they thought they can take one of these two cards. Took the Obstructionist, that's interesting. Ooh, that's... I don't think I really want any of these, right? Because Gadwick is sort of good, but then we're going to put both Nykthos, or, yeah, there's only going to be 2 Nykthos left. We don't have any way to use the mana right now, so I'm going to say no. Because I really want more counters. They might be kind of far away from just winning, though. I can't play this at flash speed. That's the thing that I'm worried about, so I'm going to say no. With Borrower, I can flash in. Yeah, but I want to draw more counter spells. They don't have anything else. That's interesting. They know we have Wizard's Retort in hand. Yeah, Oracle's fine. Slows our clock down by a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not going to play Leyline because this lets me play Wizard's Retort through Mystical Dispute right now. Damn it. I feel like I should have won that game too. That was my fault. I did not calculate that right because I've not played against this deck enough to learn how to do the math for it. This deck is stupid. Like, it's 100% getting banned. It's just, how long does Wizards want to drag their feet on banning this? Because we know that that's going to happen. I guess I could Trickster this thing down. The only thing that's going to suck is if next turn they have, like... If they play Inverter, like... No, that's bad. So what's going to happen? They play Inverter, I can Trickster it, and then I still attack for 5? That's not enough. I don't think the Leyline really does anything either, though. Alright, well, I don't think I have a better option. We're just dead to Inverter plus another Thassa's Oracle. Okay, do they not have it? Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, I'm going to play the Trickster and try to just go for it. What are you casting for 5 mana? Dig through time. Okay, oh, they're looking for Fatal Push? I guess Fatal Push is what they need to not die. Well, they found it, so it's not bad. Well, they didn't play Inverter, so they couldn't win the game that turn. Alright, I guess we're just hoping Ashiok's Erasure is going to get the job done. Okay, well that... Cycling, okay, that's fine. I don't know if this works, though. Das's Oracle, that doesn't do anything, right? Yeah. They still have to find something for... Alright, so we did win game 3. Cool. So they took the Obstructionist. They weren't worried about that, but... Alright, so our plan against Inverter worked. Damn it, I don't think we should have lost game 2. That's my fault, because I should have held up the Essence Scatter. That made way more sense. I put the shields down and gave them a chance to, like, go for it, and they managed to find it, so... But it's okay. We got there in game 3. It worked out in the end. Just playing a bunch of flash creatures seems to be good against them. Alright, well, we are on the play against Terp. This hand looked great. It has Threats, Leyline, and Nykthos. So the only thing that could make this better is if we draw like Gadwick. Let's just Trickster this down so they don't get to 3 mana on turn 2. So this looks like the green ramp deck. Alright, that seems good. Can flash in Tempest in at the end of their turn. Do we really want to draw Gadwick? That's the card that's going to like help us out a lot. You're not blocking this. Why are you even like debating this? They have access to, what, 4 mana this turn? Oh, well, alright. Things are going to get out of control really quickly. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4. Add 6 to their mana pool. Alright. That's not great. It's still not the end of the world, though, because we have the Tempest in, so... Surprise! We are going to kill this stupid Nissa now. Beautiful. Oh, why did I play that? No, that was a mistake. I needed to play the island. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this game. Island would have killed this thing. Oh, what a fucking punt. Ugh. Now we're going to let them have another creature for no reason. Alright, well, we're definitely casting this Erasure in whatever dumb thing they play this turn. Because it looks like it's going to be bad. Seven mana. Alright, it could be like World Breaker. I think they have that in their deck. Letting them untap with this Nissa was absolutely just the worst possible thing I could have done. I'm trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. There's no reason not to do it like this. Jesus. Because now we can't even kill... Like, we have to kind of pick between which thing we want to die now. They can kill off a Trickster if they want. Okay. Well, we get to kill off the Nissa. And we get to attack this thing down to 1. Again, though, we could have just like had both Planeswalkers dead right now, so not good. And we still really need like Gadwick if we want to like come back from this. So we have 6. Yeah, we have enough devotion that we actually like. If we draw a Gadwick, we can just flood the board, or even like Master of Waves would be very strong. They need to stop drawing like ridiculous Planeswalker threats or just huge mana things to do too. Like, so Voyaging Satyr is becoming a problem. Oh my god, again? Now they can actually, yeah, kill this thing. Fuck. They can use the forest to kill this. Yeah. They wouldn't have this thing if I didn't make this one misplay. What? Oh my god. That's just so frustrating. Like, none of this would be happening. This is just snowballing out of control. Jesus. I don't know what to do here. I guess Thasa's kind of fine. That doesn't really do anything. Playing the Jin, like, oh my, gee, they just keep slamming threats. It's not getting better. Because now we can't kill both of these in the same turn. If they just keep putting +1/+1 counters in them, like, it's not making us able to block them either. We can at least kill the Nissa if we want to. Okay, that... So we're at 15, so we can take... I don't like this, but... We need Master of Waves. That's like the only way. Block this thing, go to 2. Harbinger of the Tides is not gonna do it, right? I can bounce one thing and block another. Alright, well... No, but they can just make this a 2-power thing. I have to actually deal with all of them right now. None of this. It's not winning. We lose. Nope. Because the Tempest has to kill, like... Yeah. Damn it. I think if we played the island and killed that Nissa turn earlier, I think we actually still had potentially a game there. That's incredibly frustrating. Alright, well... I guess Wizard's Retort is good here, and... What else? We don't really need to change very much for this deck. I think Ashiok's Erasure is actually was sort of fine. Well, because they might have Artifact or Enchant, or like they might have enchantment removal in their deck. That's definitely possible. So, what do I cut for these? Yeah, I don't have a good answer to this. This gives us 5 counter spells. What's Thassa seems fine. Like all of these cards seem like they're actually fine. Maybe Cloudfin Raptor's not. All right. I guess maybe Essence Scatter. We'll just bring in one of those. Actually, we could bring in the Shadow Spear. That might make more sense. The lifelink could be very relevant if we can stick it on like a Jhin, because then we can start to race their beaters. Alright, I like this plan. I want to be on the play. Jeez, this hand's really slow. I don't think it's gonna... If they have anything remotely close to a hand like last time, I don't think that races them. This is much better. We'll put a... I guess... Put an island in the bottom. Slows them down a fair bit. Trickster this and then Harbinger it next turn. I think, yeah, no matter what, this will slow them down. Play the Shadow Spear. Pass. So this puts more pressure on the board too. So they have 4 mana. Alright, well, they have a bajillion mana now, so... Can't really afford to equip this at the moment. I think probably... I don't know. Like, they're going to play something really dumb now. Burning Tree, yep. Two. Their Devotion's going to be insane. Yeah, this is bad. Why am I seeing this deck? Like, I thought Mono Green was basically, like, gone. Didn't Inverter just, like, destroy this deck? Oh my god. Alright, you know what? If that's not the worst thing. Because if they try to kill off a creature, that's fine. So what I can actually do here is just bounce the Burning Tree back to their hand. And then this doesn't do anything. Or, does it even matter, though? Like, if they kill off this, I could just flash in Brazen Borrower and attack that way, right? Yeah, okay. That's not... I mean, they still have a bajillion mana, so... I can't do anything about that. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. That's terrible. Yeah, Karn's fine. Yep. I'm gonna have to probably kill this thing now. Sky Sovereign. We just lose to this, don't we? Because it's just gonna kill off a... Yeah, like, we can't beat this. This turn 4. Oh my god. How do we're just screwed. There's nothing that we can, like, realistically do. This is going to destroy us. Alright, well, I guess we're just fighting and hoping that if we kill the planeswalkers, maybe that's good enough. So we're going to crew it. So here I could actually use the Trickster. And then just tap it down. Or I could use the Brazen Borrower to bounce it. I really don't want to bounce it though. I think I need to just No, okay, that's a shame concede. No, shame concede because we needed to let this resolve first. Alright, fuck it, we lose. That was ridiculously losing. I don't know, maybe we could have came back in game 2, but not. I am just not on it today. I'm sorry. It's been too long since I played against these decks in Pioneer, and it's just I don't have it together today. All right, no, we shame concede. That's have to do it. All right, well, we are on the draw, and this is Kevin Bots. All right, neat. What are we doing here? This hand is great. We'll keep it. It's got a leyline and a bunch of blue things. All right, Botanical Sanctum. So Mausoleum Wanderer. So this is Spirits. We don't have anything to do in turn 1 though. So we're gonna probably start to fall behind against this. So this looks like Bant Spirits from what I can tell, because I think Botanical Sanctum is really only for collected company. I mean, the Tricksters can slow them down a little bit. Alright, I mean, sure. It's not the end of the world. I don't know, let's just play Thassa's Oracle. The worst thing that happens is they play a Lord next turn and attack for 3, but I really want to find Nykthos right now. No. Yeah, it's good that we played this because drawing 2 lands was going to result in us losing. Probably Eagle, right? I mean, Empyrean Eagle seems like the play, unless they're going to try to hold up Spellqueller. No, I think Eagle makes sense. Yeah. They attack for 3. We need Nykthos so we can start deploying our things faster. That's sort of okay. So I don't really want to play Gadwick just yet. This will help us dig into Nykthos. We're going to take some hits, but next turn we can double Trickster and slow them down a lot with that. We just need them not to have another Petty Theft. Yeah, Collected Company. It's not good. Ah, fuck. Oh, we're going to get hit for a lot. None. Definitely on the bottom. Jesus! We can't... That's not going to work. Alright, So here, I guess what we're doing is we're just going to trickster both of these things. It's the only way that we can attempt to do anything. Sure, I'll let them attack now. I'll force them to choose between their other eagle and their spirit, because now Thassa will be able to block this thing. Okay, well, they don't really have anything else in their hand, so that doesn't do anything right now. That also doesn't really do anything. Can attack them for 9, 10. That's 10's not enough. Plain or like none of this matters right now. They can just flash it in. We're dead. We take too much damage in the air, so no. I think if we found Nykthos, that we had a chance because that was 7, so we could Nykthos, maybe try to Gadwick and draw something else. But no, it sucks. The Obstructionist seems like it's going to be good. Mystical Dispute seems like it'll be good, and I don't think we want Ashiok's Erasure here. What else? Cloud Fins can be good. Maybe the Oracle's not quite as good against this deck. The rest of these cards are fine. Like, take out one Gadwick, because this is not really a War of Attrition kind of thing. You know what? Shadow Spear might be good too. They do have like Brazen Borrower. You know what? I could take out Master of Waves, just one. I think. Does it make sense? Maybe. The life gain might help us swing the race a little bit. This is a slow card, so I don't know. We'll try it like this and see how it goes. Bant Spirits is definitely a tough match. They have flying and a lot of disruption. They're probably bringing in stuff like removal spells, maybe Teferi, Mystical Dispute. They already have Brazen Borrowers in their deck. Like, those are fine. They might bring in enchantment removal. That's possible. Just because turning off Leyline helps a lot for them. I don't think that they'd go that hard on it. Actually, the thing that might be the worst thing for us for them to be playing is Hushbringer. Because that turns off the ETBs and like all of our creatures, so basically all of our 2-drops just become like absolute complete blanks. Like, these don't do anything, these don't do anything. We're basically just down to the 3s at that point. So Hushbringer is the card that like really defeats us hard. Alright, I would love to play. I guess this is okay. It's not perfect, but I don't know. I guess we're going to keep it. Nykthos Devotion and then Flying Creature. That seems... I guess that's what we have to go with. They don't have any 1-drop. That's good. So we draw a 2-drop. No, but that's also fine because we can flash that in at an opportune moment. We can get this Tempest in early too. Underneath Spell Queller. So here's the question. They might be holding up Mystical Dispute right now. I guess I'm just going to pass, and I'll play the Obstructionist on their end step. Or if they like tap mana right now, then maybe I'll do it if they play like Rattle Chains. It does mean that this is kind of like the ley line for their deck, though. Because now they can cast their Lords on our turn. I mean, I'm gladly trading this with this creature if they attack. So that means maybe like Spell Queller, maybe Empyrean Eagle is a thing. Oh, tapping mana is great. That means we get Tempest Shin out safely. Nebelgast Herald. Alright. I don't like that, but at the same time, I don't know if there's much we can do about it. Let's get this out so we get our Devotion up. There's no way that they're blocking this, and if they do, that's just a win for us. Nebelgast Herald's one of the best cards in their deck, and they're not trading it for this. So they don't have Collected Company, that's a good sign. They might have Reflector Mage. Ah, that's brutal. So maybe... If you draw another land, we could equip this thing and then play this as well. That's actually not bad. So I can attack for 4 lifelink here and still hold up Mystical Dispute. I can also attack for 3 with this and then just I can flash this in and have Dispute up. That might make more sense. Make them think the shields are down. I want to play at flash speed as much as possible. I want to try to trade this with Nebelgast if I can. So if they go for like Spell Queller, I can dispute it and hope that they don't have their own dispute. Alright. Pretty much any creature they cast here, I can just counter it. It's not Queller. Alright, well I can't deal with that one. Absolutely not. This is rough because I really want to be able to equip this thing, but at the same, if I equip this, like I'm also kind of dead. Well, I think I kind of have to though, right? Let's see, if I equip it and attack and they block, I don't want to do that. I really, I can't, like, they're gonna attack for at least 4 in the air, maybe more. I need more life in order to be able to win this race. I can theoretically trade this with the Selfless Spirit and 4 life. The odds that this is going to successfully block anything seem pretty low. So I guess I just attack for damage. Sacrificing it's not going to... Okay, well, that doesn't do anything because this has trample, dummy. Okay, then. That was definitely a blunder in their part. We could just die to, like, I don't know. I think, what, if they put 2 lords in, that would attack for... They're not quite... Deputy sucks. Fuck. Well, we can't beat that card. That's brutal. No, well, this is too much. We're dead. Like, we can't come back from it. We don't have any devotion for Master Wave, so... There's no way to play around it either. We needed this land so long ago. Like, it... See, I could play Gadwick here and draw 2 cards. That doesn't do anything. I could also play Tempeshin, but that's still not going to do anything because they can just... I guess I have to play, like, Master Waves. Because if they play any 1 spirit, I'm dead. That's the problem. They have 3 cards. They just have to play 1 spirit and this kills us. The only way we technically don't die is if we play Master of Waves, and then we'd have to... They can tap down, like, a elemental and then attack us, but that's still ridiculously losing. Trying to think. We kept in Cloudfins, right? So I guess we could draw Cloudfin off this, or maybe draw Mystical Dispute. I think that's better than this because, like, we're not going to stabilize with Master Waves in this board. So I think the best thing that we can do here. Nope, colorless. We have to draw either Cloudfin or Mystical Dispute, and that's still probably not good enough, but that's the best I can do. So then we only take 5 damage. Alright, pass. If they just tap this, we die. And they're going to definitely play Collected Company now. No, they don't want to attack with that. I guess if they have all lands in their hand, then maybe we could do something here. Now they have to have Collected Company, so... Yeah, alright. As soon as a creature comes into play, we die. Alright, we lose. Nope, they beat us. They had tons of interactive creatures, and, like, our hands were just kind of clunky, so... Now, the Bant Spirits matchup, I don't expect that that's going to be favorable to us, so... Match 2, I think I kind of pissed away a chance at that, but 3, I don't know. Game 1, I definitely screwed up. Game 2, I don't think we had a chance. Alright, Left Coast SF. So, we're on the play this time. This is just going right. This is fine. We'll keep this. This has just been a really rough league so far. Like, 2 really major punts, but just, like, overall, like, those last 2 matches have just been very hard. I mean, Bant Spirits is like sort of a meta deck at the moment because it has a pretty decent Delirium, or I think it has a pretty decent matchup against Inverter. I don't know what it is against Delirium. Excuse me. It might be okay against that deck. But Leyline, we can start putting out like Oracle, and then maybe draw something with the Nykthos. Oracle will let us dig 4 cards deep, and hopefully we can find like a Gadwick or something. And then we can just really go off. Alright, but what do you got? Coast? Okay, so this might be the Breach deck, I think. I think that Breach plays this card. That's not a very good draw. I don't have to play Oracle until their turn. There's still other stuff. This could be a Bant Spirits card, maybe. Their mana base is kind of terrible. No, this definitely looks like Breach, I think. No, or wait, is this a Delirium? Oh, this might be Delirium, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Or wait, is this could be Dredgeless. What do we reveal? No, okay, no, for sure that's Breach. Okay. Alright, so they took a Lotus Field, so we know that they have that. Gadwick on top. So probably just deploy 2 Tricksters this turn. Sure. So they have to do this first, and then they'll play the Lotus Field. Yep. Okay, so we don't know about this. No, come back. Alright. Alright, so let's see what happens here. If we feel like we need to go for a combo, we can. Or if we need to go for a counterspell, we can. Right? So we have 9 mana available. But the only thing we have in the main deck is so what is it? Ashiok's Erasure. So I guess I just need them not to go for it this turn. Right? I think that's what has to happen. I guess if they play like Underworld Breach, though, I could bounce that with Brazen Borrower. So, yeah, that might be the only line that we have. We'd have to play Gadwick and try to leave up enough mana to Petty Theft it. Otherwise, I'm just casting Gadwick in their end step and just drawing as many cards as I can. They might be debating whether they have another turn to go off here. I only have 2 cards. Like, it looks safe for them to pass at least one more time. They can tap this and just turn this into an extra Lotus Field and still have 1 mana left over. I don't think that's enough to go win with. They have 7 cards in hand, though. This is the first time I'm playing against this deck, but I feel like this should be a match that we have a pretty decent match against, so So we have lots of counter spells in our sideboard for this, and we have a pretty quick clock. The Leyline helps a lot deploying our threats at instant speed. I want to say we should be able to beat this deck even without the Damping Sphere. So are they going to copy this, or are you going to like go for something bigger? Ooh. Okay, so cycling, I guess, yeah, that's fine. I can't interact with the cycling. That means they might be trying to go for it. Or maybe they just wanted to draw the card and see if they can. The cycling is basically a ritual for them, so... I don't like this. Oh, yeah, I mean, they can copy it. Alright, if they have hidden strings, that's bad. That's actually fine, I think. They just get another blast zone? Okay, well, I think we're actually really good here. 8, 9, so just draw 6 cards. So we really need a counterspell. Well, we drew a lot of lands. Unfortunately, we didn't draw like any of the things that we needed to stop them from winning the game, so they're just kind of, they will get to go off with impunity here. Gadwick just drew us like 5 lands. That was fucking terrible. Or no, it was 4 lands, right? 4 lands, Leyline, and Tempest-in. It's awful. I really wish I could do something about that, but I can't. Like, they're just going to go off here. And I think because they know that we didn't counter this, that we don't have it. They have 7 mana right now. Question is, did they find Breach? If they don't have Breach in their hand, then maybe we're okay. Okay. They can blow up all of our 2s. It's certainly a line. But if they do that, they're actually still going to die, though. That's not a good enough plan to win right now. You're definitely going to untap Blast Zone. Okay, well, we might be sneaking this one out here. Is that a concession? Alright, they didn't have it. Oh, we were very, very vulnerable that turn, but Gedwick drew 1 relevant card out of 6, but that was just good enough, so... Alright, I wonder, can this counter a cycling effect? I don't know, I still think we probably need it. What about Ashiok? Can exile their graveyard, but only at sorcery speed. They're gonna go off at instant speed. So, let's see. Master Waves I think is too slow for this match, especially with Blast Zone. I don't really like Cloudfin Raptor here either. Take out 1 Harbinger of the Tides. We need to keep our curve a little bit diverse though. Because of the Blast Zone, like they obviously have things they can do with that. So yeah, Gadwick was pretty good. I like him. I don't know. Brazen Borrower maybe is relevant. Just something I can cast in at flash speed. Oracle's fine. It lets us dig for interaction, so I don't think they play any creatures I really care about. Like, all of their important spells are not creature spells. Alright, let's do it like this. Alright, this is a great hand. We have interaction, we have Leyline. If we can find Nykthos, we'll be off to the races. We need more lands, but no, we're definitely keeping this. Alright. Yeah, they don't really have much to do on one. Maybe opt, but they can do that on our turn. Gadwig was not really the card that I wanted to draw here. This is not a match where we really want multiples of them. We need more mana sources. Alright, stage, yeah. No, that's sort of okay. Stage means that they have to sacrifice it if they want to play the Lotus Field. So Breach, Fey of Wishes. All right. Come on, don't do me dirty like this. I need Nykthos or an island. Like, just give me a land so that I don't lose this game for no stupid reason. What are you playing in 3? Playing this? Alright. Come on, land? Fuck! No, that's not gonna work. I think I have to do this on the upkeep because if I don't, they can just play Lotus Field, sack 2 of these things, untap it, and then just do stupid shit. But right now we're in a bad spot. We need mana so badly. We need Nykthos because Nykthos lets us cast the Ashiok's Erasure. Like, untapping something doesn't really matter right now. I don't know. Yeah, so I just don't want them to play the Lotus Field and just kind of go off when we don't have anything. I guess Wizard's Retort would be kind of good. You can get Fey Wishes and yeah, that's fine. That's not fine, but it's yeah, they're gonna search their sideboard for a card. Probably something really good. Oh fuck. All right, we need Nykthos, Nykthos, Nykthos. All right, well, non-creature, non-lands. They don't have any black mana to cast this though. Alright, so I guess we just play Tempesh in and pray to draw a land. If they play a black source, they're going to eat both of these things. Okay, that's not black mana, so that's sort of okay. Pour over the pages. Yeah. So they're at 8. Yeah. They already played a land for this turn. So let's see. If I play the Tempesh in, that doesn't kill them. I play the Gadwick, it doesn't kill them either. I'm just trying to think what... I guess... What is worth more right now? I can't block the Tempest-Shin. If I draw an island, like, they're gonna take 6. If I play Gadwick, they can just block Gadwick and then go to 4. I think either way it doesn't matter a whole lot, so I think I'm just gonna play Gadwick here. That's fine. And again, Nykthos is the draw. That's what we want, because we have 9 Devotion right now. I don't know why you untapped my own creature. It's still attacking you. So they can't tap this for colored mana. I don't think it matters here. So what might be okay, though, is... So they can play the Lotus Field and copy it and just kind of go off. So the question is, what do I do here? If I tap this thing down with Gadwick now, is that fine? I guess that's... It kind of has to be. I don't have any other way to interact with them. This just prevents them from being able to untap the Lotus Field when it comes into play. Alright, they're at 1. Go for it. Yeah. So they can turn this one into a Lotus Field. Oh, okay, they just didn't have enough to go for it. Alright, well, we beat the Lotus Field deck, I guess. We just had too much pressure, so... Sometimes I guess you just don't need counter magic against their deck. I don't think we played anything, really. Like, we just played a bunch of creatures and tempoed them out. Jeez. Alright, well, I don't feel like we should have won either of those games, but we did. So let's see if we can, like, at least go 3-2 with this. Come on, let's finish strong. We're on the draw, and this is Mass 7X. Sure, fine. This hand is actually really bad. We've effectively already mulliganed, and we can't cast any of these spells. I'm going to mulligan this. This is actually better, I think. Keep this, we just put an island in the bottom. This has a very nice curve to it. It's insanely better. So Breeding Pool, Traverse. So we're up against Sultai Delirium. Okay, well, Delirium, let's see how this match goes. It's going to be interesting for sure. Next turn we can just play Orc. Oh, well, fuck. They can just take either one of these things. I imagine they take Gadwick still. Evolve this thing and then try to find another important spell. Alright, what do we got? All of these are poop. We need power spells, and Merfolk Trickster is not it. Like, I really want a 3-drop or a 4-drop that I can play with this Nykthos. They took Overgrown Tomb. There's already a creature in their graveyard. So it doesn't matter if they put a Wayfinder in. They have instant sorcery land creature, so they've already got Delirium. We are not in a good spot. Flooding out. We kept 3 lands and then drew 3 lands, so that sucks. And now we are in deep shit. Surprised they didn't just get Tireless Tracker back right away. Oh, now we're definitely dead. Now they can get like Ishkana or Emrakul or just something really dumb that's going to kill us. Like, between the Traverse and the Liliana, there's not very much we can do. We are very behind. Jace Vern's Prodigy, that's bad. Attacking doesn't really make sense. Alright, well, we just kind of have to use this Ashiok's Erasure on whatever spell they play this turn. The only nice thing is they can't Abrupt Decay it. Because if they untap with Jace, we die. They have access to their graveyard, and then we're screwed. They still might have... ooh, okay. We're starting to get somewhere here. This might be a turn where we have to just bounce Liliana. And then just... hope they don't have more black mana. Alright, well, I mean, we're trying. This is about as good as we can hope for, but Master Waves is basically offline right now. Okay, well, flashing in this Brazen Borrower is extremely dangerous because they're not going to play Liliana until they can kill this thing. So we can't play it. That's not terrible. They have 3 cards. One of them is Liliana. So if they attack with the Wayfinder, we can just flash in Harbinger of the Tides. That's really not good. No. Fuck. I don't really have it again. Alright, we're just playing to our outs here. That's definitely not an out. Because Liliana's going to come down and kill this Brazen Borrower now. Alright, well, we have to play this. I was hoping that we could draw Gadwick and then just, like, come back like that, but no, Liliana's going to ruin us. It kills the Brazen Borrower. This is going to make another thing scary. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit too late. I mean, Gadwick next turn still probably does something. I don't know if it's enough, but maybe. This Nissa is going to be extremely difficult to beat, though. That's not good. Is that Emrakul? Do they have enough for it? I think they do. 6 mana. That has to be Emrakul. Yep, okay. I mean, sure, fuck it, whatever. They can suicide our borrower into it if they want. They're obviously not going to cast that, so. Still not the end of the world for us. They'll suicide borrower away, but maybe we can still come back from this. If we can find, like, another Master of Waves. Because then if they kill one of them with Liliana, it won't matter. We can then take a hit from this. I don't think that does it, though. The problem is now they still have Liliana in hand, and if they play it, we die. But I don't think we have a better option, so we're just going to play our cards and hope that they do something. And we have to cast this now. I can't attack. If we drew a second Master of Waves, we could have theoretically, like, not died, but with him having Liliana in hand, as soon as he replays it, we're dead. So, I don't know, maybe he'll screw up and just not play Liliana, but I feel like he's going to know how to do it. You just kill Master of Waves and then you win. Yep. So we have to chump block something here to not die. And now there's no way to come back from this. So, I don't know. We were very far behind. They top decked both they drew like naturally the Nissa and the Emrakul. They didn't even have to tutor for this thing, right? So this sucks. Sometimes they have and this thing is in the graveyard too. They can get it back at any point. Yeah, we are dead. Not even gonna waste time. No, I don't expect this match to be particularly great because they have a ton of removals and just very scary threats. I guess Ashiok is the card that we want for this. Cloudfin is not the card we want here. Ashiok's erasure doesn't seem particularly good either. I think we'd rather have Wizard's Retort and... Let's see. Obstructionist is actually kind of bad as well. I guess Shadow Spear, that's fine. The problem is, like, Obstructionist, it just dies to Liliana as well. So does Borrower, but at the same time, we need to keep something. And, like, the Borrower bouncing something might be relevant. Maybe, like, bouncing Tireless Tracker in an appropriate time. Yeah, I don't really want to change much else. Master of Waves is so weak to Liliana, though. I don't think we can afford to take it out. We just need them not to kill it. That's how it has to be. So, yeah. So, here we go. We're down a game in the last match, so... Not the deck I was hoping to play against, but... I mean, hopefully Ashiok will do something. If we can keep them off of their Delirium, this actually, like... Yeah, the Traverse is, like, the most dangerous spell they can cast, and this shuts it down, totally, so... Turns it into a 1-mana literally do nothing. Removes their Delirium so they can't hardcast Emrakul. Removes their graveyard so they can't return anything with Liliana. I think they play Grim Flare in this deck, which it will shrink that thing too. I want to be on the play for sure. This hand is fine, I guess. And we need to draw another land, but, you know, that's how it has to be. They kept 7, we kept 7. The only thing that's nice is, like I said, they can't, because it's a 4-mana enchantment, same like a Erasure, they can't Abrupt Decay it. Are they going to, like, Mystic Dispute us? Alright, well, this is where we're at. We need to draw another land or we die. Okay. They're keeping Dispute up, it looks like. Interesting. They have to have something because they shock themselves, so I'm just going to play Brazen Borrower in their turn. And try to draw Dispute and then get Thassa down. Yep, okay, I knew we had that. Do you have 2 of them? No, okay. Thassa is important because Thassa is going to help smooth out our draw so that we don't draw garbage for the rest of the game. This is a grindy game, and this is a very hard card for their deck to remove most of the time, so if we can draw like Nykthos, that might be okay, because then we can maybe chain like some Shannon to Gadwick or something. I played this on my turn because I wanted to tap them out so that I could play this. But this Tempest, like the rest of these cards, I will probably try to play in their end step. The other cool thing is with Anticipation on the field, that sucks. I think they probably have to take Gadwick here. That's the most dangerous card, because that draws us 2 cards potentially next turn. I think, but yeah, the cool thing is, if we draw Ashiok, we can actually use it as a hard counterspell versus a Traverse with this Leyline, because we can just play it in response and then they won't be able to search their deck. I think the call is they have to take Gadwick. Otherwise, yeah, we just draw 2 cards with it and then they're down. We can turn Thassa online this turn if we want. They're gonna do it again? Wayfinder, okay. At this point, if I draw Ashiok, I'm just going to play it in my turn so I can attack with Thassa. Leyline of Anticipation. No, that card is garbage. That is even worse. Okay, so I could play Borrower here. I think that's the right... Well, if they play Liliana, this is bad, but if they could Abrupt Decay this thing... I'm going to play the Tempest in, just because there's less things that kill this. They already have Creature in the graveyard, so I just want to get my attack in while I can. This sucks. This was like literally the worst possible thing after Leyline that we could have drawn. Alright. Okay, if they're playing Uro, that's a good sign for us usually. Unless they're gonna go for like Abrupt Decay in this, I mean that's unfortunate if that happens, but it's whatever. Fatal Push. Oh yeah, alright, it's a card, I guess. They could have another push too. Master of Waves is great. I think we put this on top. If they have Fatal Push, they're going to do it anyway, so... I guess we just play Brazen Borrower now, because if they push something, I'd rather they push this. We're kind of testing them to see what their hand looks like right now. And then, or if they play Liliana next turn, then we can like sandbag the Master till their end step and then play it. Okay. I just don't see a reason to play Master right now. Because this card is way more valuable to us that we don't want them to have another fatal push to kill it. Whereas if they like Liliana and kill this thing, that's fine. If they Liliana and kill this, that's not fine. But I mean, Liliana's not great, but if they do play Liliana, we can still play Master Wave's attack with Thassa. Fuck! They drew another discard spell. Well, they're 1000% taking this. Alright, well now, like, things are getting worse. I think there were more draws where playing the Master was bad than there were, like, when keeping it was bad. Scavenging is... okay, they still can't block anything. Alright, what do we got? Nope, bottom that. Alright, attack for 8, I guess. So they can go to 7. Yeah, they have some mana. Like, they're not dead for a little while. They know what our last card is. Can bring back Uro if they want. Looks like that might be happening. Trying to debate what the last land should be for it. Blue, yeah, they're trying to leave themselves maximum green so they can exile cards with this. This looks like Uro. So what do you exile here? Probably what? You have instants still, so you can take out 1. You have sorcery, so 2. You have land, so 3, 4. Yeah. I can pretty safely do that. Still have 3 cards in hand, 2 cards now. No, no, no. Stop, stop. So here's the cool thing. I can actually play this Thassa and sacrifice the other one. This is the only time this is going to be relevant. Keep this one. I don't know. Alright, well, if they have a removal spell, so they have a removal spell, but they can only make it a 5/5, and... Fuck! Alright. Yeah, they had Abrupt Decay. I can't beat that. Abrupt Decay was just like the unbeatable card there, so whatever. But if they didn't have it, then it would have been fine. Yeah, we definitely want that on top. I guess we're just passing. Cast this in their turn. Draw 2 cards with it. They can just start looping these arrows forever. So do I take 10? I don't think so. I guess I just do this and block with Thassa. Sure. we're fucked. We lose. That was our last hope. We're taking too much damage from this. We can't stabilize. That's 2 mystical disputes now. Like, sure, we're fucked. So I guess Master Waves are bust at this point. Wizard's Retort is terrible, and we draw lands, right? No, Gadwick. It doesn't really matter. If they have any removal, we die anyway, but... Pass. We have to chump block, and then, I don't know. If they have any removal spell, we're dead. Alright, fuck it. Sultai killed us. That was awful. So, I don't know. That's rough. We even put the 3rd Ashiok in there, so, like, we didn't see it, though. I mean, if you put 3 in your deck and you don't see it, it's, you know, it is what it is. I don't know. How do I change this? Like, maybe Cloudfin Raptor's the card that has to go out of the deck. Like, it just might not be worth enough right now. I don't know. Maybe it just has to be, like... What can we make Cloudfin that, like, makes everything else matter? Maybe Siren Storm Tamer would be better? I mean, that's possible. If we play Storm Tamer, then the Retort's actually a little bit better in the main deck as well. We can sideboard some of these and go up to Retorts in here. I don't know. There was a lot of, like, discard and removal spells, and I mean, we beat Inverter, but we beat, like, the 2 combo decks, basically, but we lost against all the fair decks. Well, okay, that's not fair. I don't know if I would call Mono Green Devotion a fair deck. Like, that was pretty insane with what happened to us there. I don't know, maybe Spectral Sailor is better here if we're going to play all these Nykthoses. We just didn't have, like, I don't know, there wasn't enough to, like, grind here. We ended up just in situations where we just kept needing to top deck things and not finding them. Did Obstructionist matter? I mean, it did its job against what we thought, like, we wanted it for. Against in the Dimir deck, it was pretty good because they definitely took it out of our hand with discard spells. Maybe this could be something else, though. I just don't know what else we could reasonably, like, play against any of these decks. Maybe Pithing Needles? Yeah, I don't know. Like, the Ashiok feels necessary. The Bant Spirit decks is just hard for us to beat as well. Yeah, I don't know. Just in general, like, it's hard. Yeah, I don't know. These could... Maybe we could just take these out, play, like, more counter spells or something. I don't have the answer, but I'll have to look at it. I mean, there's probably ways to make this a little bit better. Unfortunately, I think we're stuck with Leyline. I don't know if we can play this deck without it anymore. There's way too many ridiculous nonsense decks at the moment, and playing with our own nonsense is the only way to counteract it. It just means our hands without Leyline are like so-so, and the hands where we draw multiples of this is just, they're pretty bad as well, but I don't know. That's kind of just how it has to be, I guess. I don't think we can afford to cut Tempish in. It's just too important of a clock. Everything else, like, yeah, I think Cloudfin was the only thing that I'm kind of sketchy on at the moment. And then maybe we can tweak the sideboard. Like, Obstructionist is okay, but it doesn't necessarily have to be there. There are other things that could be there instead. Like I said, maybe either Storm Tamer or Sailors could be in the main deck. Who knows? Well, that's all I have for now, so we'll play more Pioneer soon. I think the next league is going to be Modern, and depends. If I can get my guests lined up, then I'll probably be doing Modern, and it won't be till Monday. But then it'll be Pioneer again after that, because I want to jam more in this format, but at the same time, like, I really don't want to like invest too much time into Pioneer because of the Dimir deck, because I don't see the format remaining the way it is right now. I think bans are inevitable. It's just a matter of how long we're dragging it out. So yeah, adapting does not feel like it has a point to me, and the format, I just really don't like it where it is right now. I was very happy for it right before Theros hit, but like now it's basically the same thing as like every other format. It's just okay, well, half of the decks you play against are just like dumb combo decks, and the other half of the decks are decks trying to beat the dumb combo decks. Except in this format, we don't have any like counter spells like Force of Will or Force of Negation to fight them. So that's frustrating, but it is what it is. Like the decks are like maybe like a turn slower here, but there's no shortage of combo now in this format. Theros gave us at least 3 separate combo decks in addition to the previous one that we had, which was just like there was a Lotus Field deck, but now there's like the old Lotus Field, but it turned more into Breach, right? So it's just Breach and then Heliod combo, which that's being mostly played in like mono white devotion, I think, and the inverter deck. And it's just, is this really what we want this format to be? Just like basically modern, with just worse answer cards? I don't. I hope not. I mean, I personally don't like. I like the idea of a format that was more fair based, where like the best decks were just more like mid rangey decks, but I guess yeah, if you want to play combo stuff, there's already like modern and legacy for that, and both of those formats are fine. Well, okay, I don't want to say they're fine because like they have their own problems, but at least I think they're better equipped to handle it. I don't think that Pioneer is, or at least it shouldn't be forced to deal with all of this. So I don't know. For that reason, that's why I don't really want to put too much time into Pioneer until the Wizards figures out and announces what their plan is for this format, because if it stays the way it is, like, I'm just not a fan of it, and I don't think that it can stay this way. So probably expect a little bit more modern than Pioneer in the near future until that changes. So, but we will continue to play some of this because I know people do like it. So it's a little bit frustrating. Like, I've definitely screwed up some matches today, and I don't know. It's just sometimes you have those days. We went from like 5-0 in Modern to 2-3 in Pioneer. Well, it is what it is. At least, yeah, I think we're stuck with Leyline. I don't know if we're going to keep Erasure in the main deck. We might sideboard some of these and change it up a little bit. But overall, like, I think this is just kind of how it has to be. So, yeah, all right. I will see you guys next time, and take it easy.